Hey, welcome back to the one and only, the quintessential. There may be one other poser. The last time they posted anything online was in September of 2017. We're coming at you over a year in, the quintessential Disney Dudes podcast, episode 38 coming at you. Taylor, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you doing, Abbott?
I'm doing well. Can't complain. What's our
That's good.
topic tonight? Yeah.
We are going to look at some of the top abandoned attractions, abandoned ideas, abandoned things at
Ooh.
Disney
Dun, dun, dun.
that Disney's had a part or dealt with.
Yep. That kind of goes back to the weird Disney that we did,
Yeah.
the weird Disney thing, like haunted this, mysterious that, urban legend this, like the frozen head of Walt Disney beneath Cinderella's castle in Magic Kingdom, stuff like that.
The little person that hung himself in, or not the little person, but the person that hung himself in It's a Small World, like from the ceiling. Like
What?
we
'Cause
remember we discussed that,
I forgot that.
and it was fake.
I thought you were confusing yourself with because that actually happened. You can see it in the scene. They didn't edit it out in the Wizard of Oz. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's true.
Yes.
But there was one little thing that I wanted to bring to your attention because you have direct experience with the VIP tour, right?
Yes.
You've done the VIP tour, loved it, awesome. Individual, was it Aussie Dave?
Aussie Dave, yeah.
Aussie Dave in the vest, the plaid vest, the red plaid, yep. Well, what if I told you there was an option to go to every Disney park around the world on your own private jet?
I think I saw this, yes.
Nathan Firesheets actually made a tweet about this. He said, you could do it that way or save exactly $100,000 and do it my way.
My way,
Because he said about $10,000, a little over $10,000. That's
Right.
a lot. That's a lot of money, but still, that's his passion. You do you. Awesome.
Yeah.
But Walt Disney World is bringing back in 2024 a 24-day globe-trotting private jet vacation explicitly designed for the ultimate Disney fan. Guests will have the chance to experience all 12 Disney parks, 3 Disney studios, and 3 iconic landmarks. A little more bang for your buck. In India, Egypt, and France, with limited space to 150 guests across 2 departures. Be sure to secure your spot, and it only costs per person. Doesn't say age, because what is the minimum age? Pardon, the minimum age is 12. 2 trips are available: June 16th of next year, June 16th of 2024, from June 16th to July 9th of 2024, and July 28th to August 20th of 2024. And the minimum age is
12.
12. There you go. It only costs how much?
100 and some grand.
$114,995.
So 115,000.
It's 115,000. It's 115,000. They better be picking me up in my backyard. I better be laying in my bed. They better pick me up like a baby, burp me like said baby.
Change
my
me,
head,
like saying
change me. Change me. Do everything. Swaddle me. Rub me. Love me like the child that I am.
and put me
on
in,
that lyric.
put a pacifier in my mouth and rock me to sleep.
And don't wake me up until we make it to. What would be your first? If this was like somebody said, you know what, Tyler? Go. Jeff Bezos said, God, you're so freaking attractive. I love your hair. That swoosh in your hair. How you stand it up. I'm
Like
all
a
about
wave.
it. Like a wave.
Yeah.
Like a wave. I love everything about it. I love your eyes. Your smolder is just. I need it. I want it now in my face. Sit here. I don't know where he wants you to sit, but it's your weird scenario you were talking about before the podcast.
Funny, yeah.
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 You never denied it. What park would you go to first?
Tokyo.
Why Tokyo?
I just feel like if you did Tokyo, you could do Tokyo and work your way back and end up in Disneyland.
True.
I think that would be cool.
I think the outermost one would be Hong Kong.
Well, excuse me. Then I would start at Tokyo, and I'd
No.
go Hong Kong and then back.
I would no. Actually, I would go if you're gonna do it the right way and go just like Nathan did. But he did it the wrong way because he started at.
Paris.
I would go. He would start at Paris. Yeah, I'd go Walt Disney World. Boom, boom, and I finish it. You know, to literally just go the way the world turns. I would go Disney World, Paris, and then Shanghai, Hong Kong, Tokyo, and then into Disneyland.
Yeah.
Right? And then vacation at the DDC resort on Hilton Head Island. And someone's going to be taking a tour of said resort maybe next week. That is something that I have been inquiring about and something I should be able to take advantage of next week because I go the day after tomorrow to Hilton Head for the week.
Well, let me know how it is because we are talking about possibly going 1 week to the Hilton Head or the Vero Beach DVC.
Ooh, Vero Beach would be excellent. I've seen videos on that one. That would be nice. I'd rather do that one. I'm born and raised South Carolina. I vacation at Hilton Head every year. We always go to Harbor Town, right next to where they hold the Heritage Golf Tournament. We this year we're overlooking the 18th hole, right there. So we got a good, decent spot. Last year we were
right get lucky and get a hole in one.
That's every night. That's every night.
In your dreams
with your mom. But all that said and done. Would you pay that much for a Disney vacation around the world?
No.
That's rhetorical. That's hilarious. But our positioning has not changed on feedspot.com. Okay. I'm going to look one more time. Last time I saw, we were last time they updated it was May 29th. We have not budged from number 17. You remember 17. We have not budged from number 17. And our last episode is one of our most listened to episodes yet. And officially, because, we just got accepted by Apple Podcast 2-3 weeks ago, right? That we have now been listened to the most on Apple Podcasts. And I haven't checked. I've been lazy. I have not checked the number of subscriptions. But if I go to FeedSpot here, here we go, clickety-click, bing, bang, pow. And if I go to the number of followers, here it says you click on Disney News Podcast, number 17. Yep, that's gone up overall to over 600. So,
wow.
I don't know what's being incorporated there, what that situation is. I guess our freshness is what they like about us.
Maybe I don't know.
It's probably your hair.
You know what they're really going to like soon?
What?
Giveaways.
I don't know what you mean.
We're going to start doing giveaways. I lucked into some Disney items, and we're going to start giving stuff away.
Do you have a sneak preview? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yeah, hats. Let me go grab some more stuff, and I'll show you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is news to me. I had no idea that he had said giveaways for said situation, but I may set up a dummy account and try to enter whatever type of sweepstakes giveaway that he's talking about. I don't know what this is, but I need to be involved. That sounds amazing. I don't know what it's all about, but if I knew what it was, I would do it. So I may use my personal account. If you see it, leave me alone. Stick to the podcast account if you want to get in touch. But what is that?
Disney coffee.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. From Joffrey's.
So why don't you open it to give people like a sneak preview? Open up the bag to give.
There's a hole right there. Here, I'm gonna put it right here so you can see the coffee come out. You see it? Did you smell it? Oh my gosh. I'm not a big coffee person, but it smells good. Toasted Mickey and Minnie's S'mores Adventure. Toasted marshmallow and chocolate. Medium roast. Ground coffee.
Oh, that sounds great. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'd be all over that. Like a donkey on a waffle, I would be all over that. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Or like you on a banana, you know. Me and peanut butter.
No.
Screeching halt. Nope, not okay. Well, we'll go back to donkey in a waffle. That's the one that always makes sense.
No, but seriously, we will be giving these away. I've got 3 of them. I've got 2 of these Disney Mickey Minnie coffees, and I've also got a Grogu Mandalorian coffee.
They have Mandalorian coffee?
Yes.
Is it Joffrey's?
Yes.
Does Joffrey's only make coffee for Disney? Is that their only business?
No, I don't think so. I think they make it for a bunch of other people.
I didn't know if it was like a Disney exclusive. Now, is Joffrey's? Is it also Disneyland as well?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because it makes me think. Because I've seen videos of like the Disneyland hotel. They're refurbishing. They're making like a new DVC tower at Disneyland, and I think it's a Pixar themed hotel or something. But I don't know if they use H2O products in those bathrooms because they're gonna at some point this year they're gonna discontinue the H2O, toiletries.
Yeah,
in the Disney resorts. So
no, when
sometime this year. Yeah, they're gonna discontinue H2O. Yeah, yes,
because I used to stock up on those things.
Yes. If you have them, it's gonna be don't open them. You can sniff them. You can huff them. Huff them all you want, but that's going to be valuable.
I have a bunch.
Yeah. So sit on it. That's your nest egg right there.
Yeah, my nest egg.
That's But back to the topic at hand. The giveaways sound great. But future details about those said giveaways, what it's going to take to get those giveaways, you're going to have to work for it. You have to prove yourself. You have to send us like videos of like you doing certain things and challenges, and we're going to exploit you. We're going to exploit you. We want to make you beg. Taylor's more of a masochist. I'm more of a sadist. So I'm more of the authoritative type.
My wife is listening to this recording, this podcast right now, and she's giving me looks that I've never seen. Looks of disappointment.
Okay. We're not saying that you're going to be wearing a ball gag, recording yourself, proving yourself. I'm kidding. Relax.
This just went south very quickly. Over giveaways
with a ball gag. It'll make it hard to even attempt that. So, topic at hand.
Abandoned things at Disney. This podcast.
I was trying to get to that point, but you way too quickly interrupted me. No, abandoned Disney. So, what in the world do you know about abandoned Disney? Because I do have certain topics about it.
Because I know you only have like one thing. So,
yes. One thing that I'm most familiar with, and I think that most people that are going to be listening tonight are going to be familiar with this, but number one that comes to mind, and somebody asked me off the cuff, somebody said, hey, you, boom. We talked about abandoned Disney, what first comes to mind? That is Discovery Island. Now, Discovery Island was before my time. I do not know anything about it. I know where it's located. If you're trying to hold back a cough, it's okay to just let it go.
No, it's all right.
Because you were kind of...
Yeah, I know.
Okay. But with this one, this is more of an abandoned project. And it is pretty well known. Discovery Island in 1974, the island opened to the public as a separate ticketed offering, mainly as a bird sanctuary. Yep. So I think that's where they kind of went wrong. A separately ticketed, But ultimately, the island became a space where guests could check out some beautiful botanical settings, and all kinds of wildlife, including flamingos, alligators, swans, rabbits, deer, and lots of birds in the aviary. Great. It's called Animal Kingdom. But the opening of Disney's Animal Kingdom, coupled with already poor attendance at the island, started to mark the end for this spot. Really? Wow. Ultimately, Discovery Island closed in 1999. Man, I went to Disney all that time as a kid and had no clue. I mean, obviously, you're,
I believe that I went to it one time.
So tell me your memory of that.
I don't remember it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, according to talking to my mom about this, she said, yeah, we went there at least once.
Well, I believe that I'm the president of the United States.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to fly to Mars tonight. So
yeah,
I identify as a toaster.
Yeah.
You can
this
say
day and age,
whatever.
that's acceptable. But no, it hadn't been touched for over 24 years. I mean, it hasn't been touched for over 24 years now.
I can identify with that. It's called marriage. But I've been married 16 years, and I just celebrated my 16th wedding anniversary. Just kidding. She's never going to listen to it anyway. It doesn't matter. But this time, it's almost like a living, standing monument. You leave it as it is. You leave it as it is. I went to Philadelphia. Emily had, because I assume Caitlin did the same thing based on their version of med school, osteopathic medicine, being a DO, she had to take that oral examination in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, right?
Right.
Emily took the examination. We stayed at a hotel right near the location center for where they took the exam. And I drove my car into Philly, and I did like an off the beaten path, like morbid type of Philadelphia tour. So I went to the Muter Museum of Medical Oddities, and I went to the Eastern State Penitentiary, where Al Capone was put in jail. It's right there where they filmed Rocky. It's right beside that, where he ran up the steps of the art museum in Philadelphia going, well, he didn't do that, but he did like the iconic scene. But there's no intention. I feel like you're about to cough and sneeze.
No, I'm looking. I'm sorry. I'm looking up.
It's okay.
Discovery Island on Google Maps.
I got you. Oh gosh, is it the same island where they put the sneakers, or that's different? Like cast members.
Yes, it's the same one.
Is it the same one? Okay, that's what I figured.
And I just read that there was a photographer named Lawless who published Drone Island, and was banned for life. All of the Disney parks, even Shanghai and Tokyo.
Good Lord. For a minute there, I didn't get all that information because you're pulling a Nathan Fire Sheets. Your internet's kind of going in and out.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. But
photographer Seth, not Seth, but Seth.
Yes.
Lawless published drone footage of the island and has since been banned from life for all of Disney parks.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Now that would be a good person to bring on the podcast, or bring on some people that have been here.
Is that a challenge? Is that a challenge to me?
Are we going to be banned by Disney?
You can have a conversation about anything you want.
Exactly.
It doesn't. It's called the First Amendment, mother trucker.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I know you're all about 19th women's suffrage, but
all I've seen with Discovery Island is I would love to go explore it. There's not a shot, that I will be able to.
Yeah.
But I have come up with plans on how to do it if you could do it. But there's not a shot I could do it.
You're not doing that.
No.
That's hilarious.
Now, if the end of the world comes,
Sure.
I'm putting my tail on a flight and going down there and doing it.
First thing I'm doing is I'm seeking refuge in the the Main Street Confectionery. And yeah, so that's exactly what I'm doing.
Well, that's the first thing. That's the first abandoned thing.
Well, what I want to do real quick is I want to show you a quick map. Okay.
All right. Share your screen.
Here we go. Can you see it? There it is.
Wow, yeah.
Here's the map. Here's the map. So as we can see, obviously you get on, here's Bay Lake. Look at my finger. I wish this had a middle finger. That'd be funnier.
I don't even see your mouse or anything.
That's okay. You don't see the mouse. You just see the actual picture itself.
Yeah.
And zooming in, zooming out, zoom
out. I
don't
see zooming in, zooming out now.
You just, okay. Got you. So that's your awesome rural internet connection that's been that's powered by like somebody churning butter in some fashion. So anyway, let's tell Jedediah I said thanks for the internet connection.
I will.
Yep. So Discovery Island Duck, obviously I guess that was your form of transportation to the island.
Mm-hmm.
Here, if I zoom in a little more, you have the Thirsty Perch telephone. Oh, they have a public telephone. But yeah, it's essentially you just walk on. It's teeny tiny. They've got like an alligator swamp. You walk in. There's the Eagles watch. So they have like eagles that are captive. So that's sad. So I guarantee at that point that bald eagles were endangered. So that's one way. The monkey canopy is right here that I'm circling. You love it to your right. They have the education pavilion. Probably a lot of kids here. Education. They're on vacation, so that's the last thing they want to do. So they're going to take a beeline up here to Feathered Friends because you have a multicolored or rainbow-colored macaw right there. Those things are huge.
Real quick, going back to
Please.
the education.
Yes.
If they had you doing voiceovers for said educational aspect, then they wouldn't have been bored and they would want to go here.
I would have made some money. That's the difference. It's called under the table.
Yeah.
Under the table. Under the table, a little.
Yeah. Well, apparently they left birds there.
They do. And there's
snakes in Coke bottles.
Well, they have. I mean, you discover
There's a YouTube video.
Yes.
That I've watched and watched and rewatched and watched again.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see it.
I've seen part of that. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough footage, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of very kind of grainy. It's at night. Well, it's at night.
Yeah, you feel like you're breaking the law with the people.
That's true. Now this picture must have been from the late 90s, right before, because I see lemurs here. Lemurs really weren't discovered until 1992, honestly, by Americans. So that they weren't really a thing until 92. Now they may have been around for a long time. But
are you serious?
What
about lemurs? Are you the lemur expert now?
I could be. Now this right here, if you're looking about zoom in, this picture is not the most flattering for a lemur. Now, based on if you're the jealous type,
I'm gonna be real honest.
That's fine. What's being recorded? I assume that it shows me zooming in. Do you see a picture of the map?
Yes.
Perfect. Do you see the lemur?
Yes.
Primate paint. Pardon. That lemur, it could be taken one of two ways, right? It could be, ugh, that's disgusting. Or, that's a tail. Or for a guy that's very short, he'd be like, what the hell, Disney? Okay, fine, I get it. I got a small whatever. People could take that the wrong way. It's like he's like the Ron Jeremy of lemurs. This is your cue.
I hate you right now.
Look at his legs. He's staring right at you like, I know you're looking. Take a picture, it'll last longer.
Stop.
Anyway, as we scroll up, we have the Discovery Island headquarters, animal hospital, and nursery. So basically, this is animal. I guarantee there is no documentation for this, but this is the inspiration for Animal Kingdom, right? Would you agree?
Yes.
Absolutely. So we are back to business. We're done sharing that. But to me, Discovery Island, I had no idea that it lasted until 1999. That is the year. Because I mean, when in 1999? I want to know what month, because I have vivid memories of being in the Magic Kingdom, and because it closed in Animal Kingdom opened up in 1988. And the first time that I went to Animal Kingdom was in June of 1999. And I rode Dinosaur before it was Dinosaur. It was Escape from Extinction, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Countdown to Extinction.
Countdown to Extinction. Thank you. But all that said and done, the one thing that people thought it would be transformed into, they thought the island would be a special adventure, maybe based on a video game. Maybe they would make a video game based upon it, or would it be a private retreat for guests? But they've done nothing with it. In the end, Discovery Island transformed into, guess what? Nothing. Instead of being a new experience, the island was left entirely abandoned, which is nuts. With everything around there, that's nuts. The animals and birds were generally relocated elsewhere, Animal Kingdom, mainly to Disney's Animal Kingdom, like I said, but structures in the island itself, various buildings, and even supplies, paperwork, and more have just been left to sit. And it hasn't changed. Even to this day, is it still the same? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just like they upped and left. It's fascinating and strange to see a large unused space in Disney World, and to think of all the things left behind, all the things that could have been. So that is my rendition and my overall presentation of Discovery Island. You're welcome. Standing ovation. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Outside of that, all I remember is a lemur just hanging dong.
Moving on.
Sorry. It was his tail. Taylor. It was his tail.
I know it was his tail. I know.
It was his tail. That wasn't his.
Oh my gosh. I know it was his tail. Holy smokes. I know.
Third leg, tail.
Oh my Lord.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's correct. You need him in your life.
Man, he does. So anyway, what's next? What you got?
Disney's River Country. You know what this is?
I know exactly. It was right in front of Magic Kingdom.
It was Disney's first water park.
I remember seeing it as a child.
Right next to
being advertised.
It was right next to Fort Wilderness Lodge and Campground.
Yes.
Yes. So, it closed.
Question. Was it on Bay Lake? Next to.
It was, yes, it was right. It was, yes.
That's nuts.
Yeah. It had 5 water slides, 2 pools, 2 children's areas, saw an average of 4,700 guests daily, and it closed on April the 11th, 2002.
That's nuts still.
And it has laid completely dormant for a number of years. And there is some videos on YouTube from Bright Sun Film. The gentleman from Canada that does that, he goes down to Disney and takes some films of some abandoned things, and this was one of them. And Now they've said that there are gators in there. They said that there's amoeba or the flesh-eating bacteria that's in Bay Lake. They said that was in there. But now they have taken and destroyed all of the land right there, and they're making it into a new hotel.
They've been saying they're going to make that into a new DVC hotel for years. They've done
Reflections, a Disney Lakeside Lodge.
Sounds terrible. Reflections, really?
Reflections.
That on the nose, really?
I'm gonna tell you right now. It's kind of cool because it looks like what the Caribbean Beach Resort looked like after the hurricane. What was it, Hurricane Ian?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you there?
I am here. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. My internet is absolutely.
You're pulling a Nathan fire sheets. Don't do it. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Come on.
Yeah.
So going back, you were talking about the fresh or the freshwater brain-eating amoeba, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or flesh-eating, not brain-eating. That is flesh.
Yeah.
Amoeba. But I'm looking at something about River Country too. It says one unique feature. This kind of makes me go, One unique feature about River Country was its filtration system. The water park actually used fresh water from Bay Lake itself, which was then cleaned and filtered before being used in the water attractions.
Yeah.
But at the same time, where does the water come from but were they too cheap to use? What is it?
It opened
bromide?
up in the, I want to say the 80s, 70s, late 70s, early 80s.
But they've been using bromide. Is it bromide or
Yeah,
they've been using bromide ever since I don't know when that was implemented. That's a good question to go back and look up and research.
Yeah.
But they use that for the park. They use that for every single water ride. I mean, the former RIP now across the entire. Can you name the park that has the only Splash Mountain?
Yeah, Tokyo.
In operation.
Or is it Shanghai?
Yes, it's Tokyo. You're right.
It's Tokyo. All right.
Tokyo does.
Yeah.
Shanghai is tiny. Shanghai Disneyland is tiny. But that's what Nathan said. He said it's tiny, but it's so cute. My favorite. But
that's what Emily said, right?
And then she went, that lemur, that reminds me of you, Abbott.
Yeah, okay. All right. So going on to the third.
This is what I got. The legendary years at Disney's Pop Century Resort.
Yes.
That's what I've got. All right. So it's one thing to potentially abandon a hotel project. And this is something I didn't realize until I actually stayed there. I actually stayed in this location, this building, this location.
Did you really?
Yes.
When did they
abandon it? Well, if you give me a chance to explain, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
The point of the episode. I'm kidding. Lemur. I know you're hung up on that. But it's one thing to potentially abandon a hotel project even before building it, but it's entirely different. A different thing to partially build a hotel and then abandon it. Like, who builds something and just goes, meh, I'm good. That's exactly what happened at Disney's Pop Century Resort, the legendary years branch. Now, I've seen Pop Century from the other side of the lake, or at least the inlet, or the help me, Skyliner. Hey, you got to work it. Hey, yeah. So your snap is much better than mine. You should have food in your mouth when you're doing gay stuff. I understand. That's fine. But that's what happened to that hotel. If you stay at Disney's Pop Century Resort, you may have noticed that the hotels cover what is referred to as the classic years, the 50s to the 90s, but Pop Century is meant to cover a lot more. So an entirely separate part of Pop Century Resort was meant to house the legendary years. The 1900s to the 40s was partially built. Sounds boring. Yeah, I want to go to a Great Depression themed resort, please.
You know, speakeasy.
Yeah, yeah, Prohibition. I can handle that, but that's a very niche in the type situation. Because it's a budget resort, it's a value resort. So, what are you advertising to? What type of individual?
The Great Depression.
Are you? The poor people. Where the poor people at? Ha ha, mother trucker. Poor people. No, that would be me. Hey, I stayed in them. But,
they had the best arcade though.
They had the same arcade. They're all the exact same layout. If you've been to Art of Animation, if you've been to Pop Century, you've been to All Star Sports, they're all you do know they're exact. You know that, right? You know the exact same layout. It's the same thing. Just the theming is different, right? The one that I want to stay at is, oh gosh, All Star Sports, because I know people love Pop Century. I've heard that people love Pop Century. I enjoy it. I've stayed at Art of Animation. Well, the last time that I took my family to Disney World, we stayed at Art of Animation in a suite.
We've never stayed at Art of Animation. We did Pop Century. We've done the music and we've done the movies and we did sports. Sports was cool.
Sports is cool. I can imagine. At least the recreation part. Question: do they have representation for UVA?
Yeah. Yeah, they had they had basketball, they had football, or they had basketball, they had baseball. I was gonna say they had football, but that's neither here nor there.
They have like an orange thing that says Cavaliers.
No, but they did have something that said Belk Bowl 2019. 28-0.
That's 2018
against South Carolina.
It's fine. 2018, but
I get the years confused because it's been a while. And
when I was in college, we beat Virginia at Williams-Brice with Matt Schaub or Schwab, whatever you call him, or Adam Schwab. I don't even remember his name. Apparently, he played in the NFL and had a decent career, but they beat him 38-6, 38-3. And I thought to myself, they did. Speaking of scoring, tonight is going to be an interesting night. But
I want to see this hat you're going to wear.
You want to see the hat?
Yes.
All right. Talk it up.
I will. So the best parts about the arcades were, they were huge. They were ginormous arcades. You could win and win and win, save your tickets and put them inside the machines and get the little receipt out. That was fantastic. I miss those arcades like crazy. Hopefully one day soon I can go back and play some of those games.
You stay at the Riviera, so therefore you're,
you can take a trip over to
high society.
No, you can. I can take the Skyliner over there.
They have that Caribbean Beach. Caribbean Beach is moderate. Caribbean Beach.
I can take the Skyliner to Art of Animation.
Okay, here. Hat.
See, I was expecting something else. I'm not really impressed.
Talking about. It's the Party Eagle.
You said you used to wear hats all the time?
When I was a kid. I'm getting back into it. Wow. No one can see your reaction without noises. At least it's comfortable.
That's why they made my Disney ears for you.
So anywho, back to what I was saying. But the main lobby, everything was essentially the same. So the difference was following the 9/11 attacks, tourism demand went down greatly. Oh, hi, COVID. Nice to meet you. And the construction of Pop Century as a whole was placed on hold. So while classic years, part of the Pop Century was finished and ultimately opened to the public, the legendary years was left abandoned for a number of years. The area sat there, fenced off, and entirely abandoned by Disney. I've seen pictures of it. I've seen videos, and they've done the drone footage of all that kind of stuff before. But instead, the Legendary Years ultimately was transformed into a new hotel and became Disney's Art of Animation Resort. That is how I knew that. I knew it became that is Art of Animation. That what is supposed to be part of Pop Century. They're right next to each other. Those two hotels share a bridge, and they compete with one another, because I remember firsthand having to backtrack because I thought we were ahead of the game. I thought we were up early. I thought we were going to be able to just hop on the Skyliner, go to Epcot, not have a problem. But the line for the Skyliner backed up all the way into Pop Century. I was like, oh, So those are the 60. I think they backed us up to the 60s section, right? They backed us up to the 60s. And it took about 25, 30 minutes extra to get on the Skyliner. Everybody's trying to go to two parks, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, whatever, right? But I never realized at the time that I was staying at a pre-planned location that was supposed to be part of, Pop Century. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. You would never know, knowing the theming of Art of Animation, the pool, everything. Yeah. You would never know.
Wow.
They have a whole section for cars, which is incredible.
We're going to go to that this time, because that's Wellesley's new favorite thing.
Oh, you've got it. Oh, God. They may say value. Now, the rooms, there is a difference in regards to the rooms and how I could hear children crying above me, below me. The walls are a little bit thinner. I will say that. The construction is not, at least the acoustics, there's a little bit left to be desired in regards to that. But my only version of that, I've never stayed at.
You should be at home. You should be at home listening to having the crying above you and below you.
How many kids are we talking here? What is your plan?
What do you mean?
What do I mean? I mean, what are your intentions here? I mean, you're not Catholic, so therefore, you cutting that honk off?
No.
You cutting that. How many more kids are we talking? I mean, y'all are still young. I'm already past my prime.
Hey, Al Pacino is 82, and his girlfriend just got pregnant.
Well, he did ask for a paternity test. So
did he really?
Yes. Yes. He just won. Hooah! You're pregnant. Holy crap. Hooah! Paternity test. Hooah! Yeah. So, moving on. Who knew that the golden era would have been Art of Animation? So, yeah. And they even had the numbers up. I'm looking at a picture that says 20s. Yeah, enjoy the Dust Bowl. Enjoy all that. 20 sounds terrible. Or at least right after the 20s. 30 sound terrible. 40s, World War II. Yay. The Hitler. He enjoyed all of the 40s and everything that goes into it. Oh, yeah. Oh, all the cheeses. I take all the artwork from the people. Thing. But yeah. But what's interesting to me, I will say something, to be a child and to know how history goes. This is going to happen no matter what. And a good point for me is that because it's such a pivotal point in history, 9/11, right? 9/11. As a kid, I had my great aunt lived in Greenwich Village. And I grew up going to 4 or 5 times going to New York City. We'd meet her in Grand Central Station. We would just walk. We would walk. She had rent control. And the business below her was like, she said, it was a gay club once. It was a bank once. It was a discotheque here. Studio 51 was around the corner over here. All this, she lived. She married an artist from Ecuador. He has a national museum dedicated to him. This is all the 1960s. All the 1960s. My Aunt Claire lived an incredible life. Like, She from Sumter, born and raised, went off to University of Texas in Austin, and did social work. Moved to New York on a whim. Was a social worker in New York City, so she worked on Ellis Island.
Wow.
For 30 plus years, right? Doing immigration. And not just in the 19, oh gosh, she's born in the 19. Yeah, so she would have done that in the 1940s.
Yeah.
Latter, 1940s, 50s. Yep, she would have done that latter 30s, 40s. Yeah. She's born in the teens, and she lived this incredible life. And I'll have to go back. My mother knows. I'm not crying because I have literally cracked my eye. But she would always book a house. She would always rent a house because her pension was bank. I mean, that woman lived a life of luxury based on the paintings. Because he died of a heart attack. They only married for like 4 or 5 years, and he was 25 plus years older than she was when they met. Right? He was an artist, New York. He was part of a movement, whatever, in the village. And it's this whole thing. And she was the kind of aunt that she never had her own kids, but she would get caught up in telling you things. Well, at this one party, blah, 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 like she'd say like, and then someone brought out Coke and blah, blah. And my mom would be like, Aunt Claire, the kids. She's like, oh, sorry. They had candy and pixie sticks, like stuff like that. Right. It was incredible. And as a kid, we'd walk around Central Park, get a burger at Tavern on Green.
Yep.
Oh, go to the Empire
zoo.
State Building, the zoo, and go to the World Trade Center 4 or 5 times. It was like, oh, let's go to the 100 plus whatever 90th floor and go look out. And I even took a class trip from when I was in 6th grade. We did a whole went to Cooperstown. Oh yeah. Went to the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, like baseball. I sucked at baseball, but I just loved everything about it growing up. I'm not you, must be nice. But did all that stuff, and man, in 9/11, it just kind of brings it home because you're like, but that was there, and that's changed.
Yeah.
That's abandoned. I can only imagine going to, Discovery Island, right? Or going to River Country. And all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, there's something eating my flesh. What in the freak is that lemur doing with that? Mom, you said that was a tail. That is not a tail, Mom. That's not a tail. So, for me, I have to know what's next on your abandoned Disney.
I've got 2 things. First and foremost, honorable mention: Mowgli's Palace.
What? I know the Jungle Book, but beyond that, nothing.
So, back in the early 80s, I want to say. Excuse me, I was about to burp. Back in the early 80s, Disney, there was in the Bahamian Islands, there was a German investor who owned about 500-600 acres, if not more, the Abaco Islands of the Bahamas.
Ooh, I have been to the Abaco. The Abacos, it's the northeast corner. I can say that because Green Turtle Cay, I stayed at a resort there when I was, it's a whole thing. But I'm very familiar.
Well, he had a proposition with a cruise ship. I cannot think of the cruise ship's name. It's, if you go on YouTube, look up Bright Sun videos, they've got it on there. And they interviewed the CEO, or the former CEO, co-CEO. And they had a deal with, I want to say it's Premier cruise ships. It was one of the first family cruise ships out. and they would come in and the cruise ship dredged the company dredged the ocean so that cruise ships could come in. And there was only one cruise ship that could come in, and it made it stop at the island. And they would call it was like a pirate ship. It was like Treasure Island almost.
Interesting.
Come to find out, Disney had a partnership with Premier.
Yeah.
And so Disney started having the island as their own little thing. And so they used to call it Mowgli's Palace.
Mowgli's Palace.
Because there was a hurricane that came.
Yeah.
It looked like the Jungle Book. It was a jungle. It was vast jungle, and it had a palace, and they would call it Mowgli's Palace. Disney backed out on the deal because they started thinking, "Oh, we're going to do our own cruise ship. There's no reason to partner with another company." So they backed out on it. Hurricane came, messed up everything, and it went to the wayside. They just recently, in the past, I want to say 10 years, destroyed Mowgli's Palace and turned it into a very, 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 very expensive gated community.
I'm Livy Dunn, All-American gymnast and Viore athlete.
There you go.
When you travel and train as much as I do, you'll find happiness.
We can wait. We can wait.
There we go. Right here. Bright Sun Film. Not videos. Bright Sun Filmed.
Doesn't matter.
What's up, guys? My name is...
I don't care your name. Here.
In short, yes, this place does actually exist. But what is the actual story behind it? We'll start off with where it is. The onshore resort is located in the Bahamas on an island called Great Guana Cay, which is part of the Abaco Islands. Way back in the 80s, the island was owned by a German businessman named Alfred Meister, who bought a significant portion of the island in 1982. It wasn't until 1989 when a company approached Alfred to build a cruise destination.
Are you seeing this?
The company wasn't Disney, but instead a cruise line that Disney was partnered with called Premier Cruise Line.
There you go.
If you've never heard of them, their flagship vessel was the Big Red Boat, and throughout their fleet, the ships were painted in a bold yet favorable.
Let's go forward a little bit.
That's the CEO.
That's the weird guy. Let's look at that.
One of Premier's ships would even be able to enter the port. See, the channel in the turning basin was only built large enough for Premier's ship, the Starship Majestic, which was only about 160
proprietary,
meters
blah,
long
blah, blah.
and had a beam.
But what I want to see is picture. There we go.
Worse, as in 1995, Disney had
That's
ended
what I
their
want to see.
contract for something Disney decided they wanted to do themselves.
That's it.
During this time, Disney was searching for land that they wanted to own themselves. So was the former Premier property on Baker's Bay in consideration for Disney?
I'm sure that they were. I know they were approached because Meister flew Disney executives out to see the facility in a helicopter and come on shore and see it. Because he could have the original Disney ship, the Disney Magic, I think it was called, was their first one.
Okay, I'm good. But
yeah, so they tore it down and they built a golf course.
What?
They built a golf course. All the native islanders were pissed because they said it's going to ruin the ecosystem there, everything, and it did. But they built the homes go for anywhere from 2.5 on up million, 2.5 million.
Man, this one that takes the cake. Because what I thought I had was going to blow your mind, but no, it doesn't. Because the next one I have is from Epcot.
Cranium Command.
Wonders of Life. Wonders of Life had Cranium Command. And the big thing about, and it's still sitting there, and I saw a picture today. And the last time I went to Epcot, we were so caught up and everything that we had going on, I forgot to go over to the location, but it's so hard to be able to find it.
Yes.
Everything is so I don't know if you can at this point. It's so fenced off because of the Moana construction, everything else they have going on. They're building the new like meet and greet for Pixar characters or Mickey and Minnie, and they're putting like a new stage in for all the festivals, right?
Yep.
Something like that, yeah. And you can see all that footage from the monorails if you go to TTC. But the Wonders of Life Pavilion featured a number of attractions, which you said Body Wars, Cranium Command, and The Making of Me. And I remember as a child vividly in the late 80s, mainly early 90s, doing Cranium Command, Body Wars. I remember these vividly.
The one time my grandfather went to Disney World, he got sick on Body Wars. And he swore he would never go back to Disney World. And to this day, he has not.
He has not. Wow.
He's 80,
Nothing
going on 88, and he has not gone back.
Wow. Well, the fact you have a grandfather is incredible. That to me, that's a testament within itself. That's incredible.
But going back to the Wonders of Life.
Yes.
Did you hear one of the rumors?
What?
That in 2019, Buzzy had been stolen.
I've heard something about that.
Did you hear about one of his gloves?
I don't know what you're talking about.
One of his gloves apparently was sold to a connection of mine.
Oh, crap.
Robin Lopez.
Okay. Yes, I've heard that. You've mentioned the name.
Yes, I gave him a pair, or I gave him a Tomorrowland cast costume shirt.
Yeah.
Or not Tomorrowland, it was a Fantasyland.
Uh-huh.
And he gave me a game used signed basketball jersey from the Orlando Magic.
Oh, wow.
Yes. He apparently bought one of Buzzy's gloves.
What does one pay for said glove?
Who knows? It's black.
I can only imagine. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That'd be like one of Michael Jackson's gloves.
That is on display in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Is it really?
The Thriller jacket, the first shoes he wore. I mean, I have pictures. They let us touch the shoes and try on the jacket. I'm kidding. No, it's all under glass, plexiglass. But yeah, you don't realize how teeny tiny people are until you see their clothes in person.
Yeah.
I was like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson compared to Michael Jackson. He was a small child. No wonder. The fact.
Pun intended.
No, I wasn't going to say that, but you know, if you want to keep bringing up the lemur, that's fine. That's your choice. I will lame in her. But but one thing I did know is they actually used that space for a spell for the International Food and Wine Festival at the Wonders of Life Pavilion. And they never changed like that 90s style theme to it. But I'm telling you, Body Wars was cool, but it was the Cranium Command was the one I had the best memories of because
I never saw it.
You never got to see it in person. It was cool. I got to see it in person. I remember the glove. I remember him wearing the gloves, like the hat, like the whole thing.
He looked like Radar from MASH.
Yes. Okay, man, you're reaching and pulling it, and you're actually making it super relevant and super appropriate.
I've seen
that's exactly.
I never got to go on that.
I got to see him because his chair would go up and down, and they'd blow smoke or like steam, and like things, of course, would go wrong, right? Because you're all up inside. Because Cranium Command because Body Wars I saw a meme the other day, like, you have an itch on your lower back, and that's just Body Wars up in your anus, something like that. You just never know. Body Wars could be all up in your business. You just don't know it. Checking your A1C. But many of the signature parts of the pavilion have simply been left in their original state.
Yes.
I think I may or may not see a theme here. Abandoning, not just abandoning, but just leading things like just going, well, we're done.
We're done, yeah.
Up, walk out the room and just single file, you're out. But quite a few things, particularly when it comes to the decor, were just left just as you have found them years before. And that was the case when they opened it up. All they did was just clean it. They just cleaned it thoroughly, right?
I would love to get into, and there have been some people that videotape that they snuck behind stuff, and they have not been found out.
I've seen that. Were they cast members? They had to have been.
I don't think so.
A cast member let them in. Or they just broke in during park hours.
I want to say that they were going to a different attraction. And they snuck in.
Or it was during the Food and Wine, International Food and Wine.
Yes, it might have been that.
So it says here, the spot famously became a hot topic of conversation when Buzzy, the man animatronic from Cranium Command attraction, was reported to have been stolen from the abandoned attractions theater. Soon, it was very small. It was very compact. So they had multiple theaters. I assume multiple Buzzies. Soon, this entire pavilion won't be simply a time machine left to play host what's happening next. Instead, this area is going to be transformed to the brand new pavilion, Play Pavilion. This pavilion will feature unique games, special ways for guests to interact with some of their favorite Disney characters. So that's what's happening with that.
However, they said that would be open in 2022.
But I thought that was going to be, they're building a brand new building for that. So yet again, it's still sitting there, not doing anything, blocked off by walls, unless you can see it from the monorail.
Yeah.
And anybody can do that. If you just go to Disney Springs, take a bus to whatever resort, hey, take it to Polynesian, take it to Grand Floridian, whatever, and go to the TTC and take the Epcot monorail from there.
Yep.
That's it. That's all you have to do. What you got?
That's it. That's all I've got.
I have one more. I do have one more. Walt Disney's plane.
Which is now being renovated.
It is being renovated, and they are now taking it to, I remember seeing them taking it to California for D23. Now, D23 is supposed to be in Walt Disney World. Now, it may be part of the archive collection. We know a lot about it. And I remember now, have you, the last time, was it the last time?
Are they flying it there, or like what?
No, it's not. it's not airworthy. They shipped it to Anaheim to be refurbished. But I think it was part of some kind of temporary exposition. Enjoy. What are you eating? What is that? Explain. What is that? Peanut butter. Yeah, it's a good choice. Polynesian.
Barbecue.
Barbecue, Chick-fil-A barbecue.
It is so good.
I can imagine.
It would knock your socks off like that hat knocks Emily's.
Say that again. There may have been like a computer internet delay.
It would knock your socks off like that hat is going to knock Emily's socks off.
With all the clothes on.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember riding the bus, and we had one of those awesome bus drivers. Normally they'll talk to you. They're cordial when you get on the bus and get off the bus. But this guy took the time, and I don't know. I think it was the past time in February we just went, because there are no coordinates for Fort Wilderness. There is no sign for Fort Wilderness, right? But when you go by the intersection towards Fort Wilderness on a bus, they always point that out. But he also pointed out where the original tarmac was for Disney World. When Walt's plane would fly out, he'd fly out Imagineers, investors, all down into Florida, and say, "These are the plans. This is where we want to. This is where we want to do it." And that's actually they housed the plane for years. You can't see it. You can't see it. I mean, you can kind of see they don't have like the actual runway. They have parts of it that are still there, but they built things not on it, but next to it. So it looks like a road, and it's not paved. Well, it's not like marked with paint or anything. There are no markings, but you can see it. I saw it for a split second in between the trees, but they had buildings around it, and they would never build anything on it. So they had the full length of the runway from the original Walt Disney World when they were flying, and it's just right there. You can see it in between the trees, but that one bus driver pointed that out. And I think we were going from Resort to Disney Springs. So this would have been the first time we ran a race last year. So, yeah.
So in 2020 here, you ready for this?
Yeah. What they promised.
I'm trying to see how to present now, right?
Yeah. Pick a tab.
I can't share my screen.
Did you go to the little arrow with the rectangle? Arrow inside the rectangle?
Hold on. I'm granting permission right now.
Oh. Not working?
Nope, not doing it.
Not doing it.
2020, they had the plane behind.
Yes.
Did Animal Kingdom. Yeah.
Really? Just sitting there. Just
November
randomly...
27, 2020.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. Well, now I know that because they announced it, that it would be shipped to California to be refurbished or for some kind of exhibition or something. I don't know.
I wonder how they shipped it, though.
Based on the pictures that I saw, it wasn't in pieces, but I don't know.
I'd almost have to think it would be in pieces.
You would make that assumption. And to me, that would, degrade the quality, but was it in pieces to begin with? But based on the pictures I saw, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good question. And we'll never know. So what do you do? What do you do? So that being said, do you have any news on your end outside of the giveaways? Anything beyond? Because we have our trips coming up. We have trips coming up, and I do have
my girls have their clothes.
Hey, what?
My girls have their clothes all picked out
for
the trip already
for November. Man, you waste no time. Well, it's going to be here before you know it.
Exactly.
It comes and goes so fast.
I know. So, that's one thing. Let's see what else. If you're looking for Disney stuff, Shop Disney, way to go. That's one thing. But number two is Marshalls and TJ Maxx.
Are they authorized retailers of said Disney stuff?
They have
nice.
They have different brands that have partnerships with them.
And how much of a discount are we talking?
Like jewelry that you would get at Magic Kingdom.
That
you pay like $100 and some bucks for.
Sure.
$10.
Good Lord. Online?
No, not online. In the store. I got a Disney t-shirt that I sent to you. For $6.
Holy crap. I don't know if I think you said Marshalls?
Marshalls and TJ Maxx.
Interesting. I would assume here in Spartanburg we have a TJ Maxx. I know the Marshalls is. I don't think we have a TJ Maxx.
Or
I think they closed down.
It was $7.99.
Good Lord. Yeah, that's a good one. TJ, good Lord. And the one that I'm wearing is from Shop Disney. And even with our discount, with our card holder discount, it's a Disney 100 Avengers alternative shirt, $25.
Yeah. Oh, I did get some new socks.
Oh yeah, what'd you pay for those? Yeah, I like those. Dumbo. If you're into that, if you're into the woke movie, yeah, those are pretty cool. So for all three pairs, okay, you got to slow down with that. You're coming in hot.
I know.
How much per pair?
It was buy 3 get 1 free.
Oh wow. Per sock. Per pair.
Per pair.
What was it per pair?
$17.
It's not that.
No.
Compared to what you would pay Shop Disney. Or even because they advertise on social media for Disney 100. Because what the shirt I'm wearing is an exclusive Disney 100. They have 2 versions.
I know. I just got that one.
You got this one that I'm wearing? It's a good choice. You have good taste. So can't deny that. But all that said and done, we are excited about Disney coming up in November. Certain things are changing in regards to plans for the next year, and we are we're kind of changing. We may not do a race. Next year because we want to take advantage of said reimbursement from said entity, right? So they have medical conferences.
Caitlin's been looking at them too.
At Disneyland.
Oh, at Disneyland?
Yeah. They offer in California. And so we're not, nothing's said and done because Disney World, of course, is the easy one, but we want something new, something different. And because that can be done in a long weekend. Disneyland can be done in a long weekend. Just 2 parks, 1 park per day. Park hopper is, I've already looked at prices, $60 extra on top of the $120 ticket. It's even cheaper than Disney World, depending on the going rate, but depending on the time of the year. So yes. So Disneyland is an alternative potentially in the place of a race. I'll give up a Disney race. I'm already dropping for that one weekend between between the race. It's already prepaid. That's already $400. 2 of us, $350. The 2 of us for one race. That's just the race. That's not hotel, everything. The hotel, we love Ridge Quarter. This past time, it was park tickets, things we wanted, and we paid an extra $300 for the extended hours. That was like another park ticket right there, right? After hours. Along with Epcot, Animal Kingdom. I mean, you're talking three grand right there, right? And then that's already, so you're getting it for $4 grand for a long weekend. I mean, I love Disney, but if we can get some reimbursement from and I can already get a discount from, there's a Howard Johnson, and I can get a discount from Howard Johnson, 20% off. And if we can get that booked by reimbursement from the hotel, from the hospital, because you book your own hotel, they just reimburse it. And if we can already advertise that as saving money, you get a per diem, and we just pay for park tickets. Plane ticket for one is already reimbursed. It's a done deal. It's already going to be cheaper than the two of us doing a run weekend. That's cheaper to go to Disneyland, fly to California. I'm saying we are heavily, and when we say we're heavily considering something, we are probably going to do it. So we're talking.
What if?
Yes.
What if you had an opportunity to stay in a DVC hotel in California?
I would consider all options. My thing is, like the lemur, never say never. If you're hanging out like that, you got nothing to lose. So
because
I'm
trying to explore all resorts. Let's see how much for a weekend.
Because they have brand new Disneyland villas. Opening at just now. I think they're just now confirmed.
But the Grand Californian Hotel. Which is the California's Grand Floridian.
Okay.
It's coming up. Here we go. Rooms start at $17, 17 points per night.
How does that translate?
Riviera is about 20.
Okay.
And you have park views at the Californian.
To me, that's not for fireworks. I'm not going to be in the room,
I'm just trying to see how much. What the heck? You can't see? I want to view rooms.
Really good at technology.
I need to get Jebediah to start paddling faster.
I thought it was Jedediah. But that's cool.
Yeah. They have 3-bedroom grand villas. For 94 points per night.
Ooh. No.
2-bedroom villas for 46 points per night. And it sleeps up to 9 people.
I mean, I get that. If you can offset by people paying you back, people buying in that are family members that aren't DDC,
1 king bed, 2 queen beds. I mean, just saying.
Now, there are.
When are you thinking about going?
We're looking summer of next year, early summer, late spring. Em still wants to do a race, but we've been looking at things. And I'm like, based on what we paid, we're already going to.
So like April,
April to July.
End of April.
Give or take.
So 52 points. Yeah, 52 points. For a long weekend, it's about 65.
Okay.
Per night. But that's not bad.
No.
Not bad.
But to me, the way that I look at it is, I'm not. Yes, obviously I want to get some sleep. It's going to be comfortable. How often do I go to California? I've never been. So there you go. So I'm going to go.
I've slept the only time I went.
Yeah.
I slept in the San Francisco airport.
That sounds terrible. I've done that once when I went to I had a work trip in London.
Yeah, I slept in the food court of the San Francisco airport.
This was Newark, in Newark, New Jersey. They were still renovating the. It's beautiful now, based on videos that I've seen online, just to see how the renovations looked. I saw it last weekend. It was a long weekend. I had a 4-day weekend, and I was like, "That's not the same airport that I stayed in," because I slept beside. Had my head propped up next to some lockers when I slept. And I slept. I couldn't sleep a wink when you fly 9 hours over the northern Atlantic, over Iceland, to go from Europe to the United States. You don't sleep. I can fly, but I don't sleep when I fly at all, because you're flying. You're that high. You're 32,000 feet, if not more. And I had never flown that far at that point. To fly international. I'd flown to South America, to Brazil and Peru and back when I was in college, but that wasn't that long. That was a quick trip. It's like a 4 or 5 hour flight. This one, 9 hours. Holy crap. Nah, I'm good. So yeah, that type of situation I can empathize with, but that is not anything set in stone. We have talked about it. More than likely, if we did do another medical conference, I don't think we're going to do the one at Grove Park again. I don't know if M said she wants to mix it up. So we may go back. We may look at Walt Disney. I've got good friends that are here in town that are doing medical conference, because we've done the medical conference. This one in Dolphin. We're regional. We did that when M was still a residency. Because she finished here after Caitlin.
Yeah.
And she did that. And we had the best time, and Swan Dolphin's nice. But there are a lot of hotels around Disney Springs that you still get the benefit of early park admission. They're a Disney friendly whatever hotel or something. So, and they have continental breakfast included. So that's something that if we can get the hotel room for free and just pay for our park tickets, yeah, that goes a long way. So yeah. That's the plan. So we're probably going to do a Disney trip, but not with the extra cost of a race and all that. Love the races. They're great. But for a year, we're going to kind of pump those brakes. So still go. It's called Thanks Biden. Thanks to the inflation.
It's called Emily's bum legs and knees and hips.
It's called she's still officially a certain age, and I'm still younger.
It's called GoFundMe. GoFundMe for Emily's new hips.
If you replace the N and D with a C and K, that's not happening tonight because I already checked on her. She's passed out. She's done. And it's called I wouldn't have consent if I just walked in. I was like, hey. At my age, it takes a while to get things going. But
be the lemur.
Sure. We had he is upstairs. The lemur in my house is upstairs sleeping. So he has school tomorrow.
Well, for Disney D. Taylor.
I was going to say, I may or may not have a birthday coming up on Sunday.
Do you really?
I do.
You turn 43?
No, not even close. Nope.
42.
Nope. Yes, maybe. Yeah, 42. Yeah. Yes.
Very nice. Well,
yeah,
I will make sure that you have a nice gift.
I beg that you do another Alvin and the Chipmunks picture. The picture I created myself, trusting that you know what, between this and the whole Mandy fucking situation, I mean, who knows what the fuck is happening? Because no one's listening to this fucking portion of the podcast. Because my daughter listens to it, she's gonna be fucking asleep. Fuck, 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 fuck. Parker, I'm saying fuck, 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 fuck. Mason, I said fuck 3 times to you. Fuck, 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 fuck. Your daddy said fuck. Bray, guess what? Daddy said fuck, 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 fuck. You're not gonna hear it because it's the end of the podcast. So fuck that.
Yeah, I want to make sure you get a nice gift this year.
I don't look or feel my age. I can say that for a fact. I don't. Especially with a hat on like that.
Delta 8 gummies will do that to you.
Delta 8 gummies are the devil, and we are going to move on from there. Yeah. So anyway, for
Disney Dude Taylor.
Disney Dude Abbott.
This has been the Abandoned Podcast.
It was a good one, but we can move on to next week or whenever we ever decide to record again. We actually choose to continue the podcast. So whatever.
After your birthday, I think you will want to do that.
At that age, I'll have nothing else. So I need some. Is that you, Bray?
Oh, Lord. All right. Peace out.
Bye.